नमस्कार फिर पैसा बोलता है में आपका स्वागत है मैं आनंद श्रीनिवासन टुडे आई वांट टू टॉक अबाउट Reliance Industries. The IPO went out recently, so I thought we will discuss what is the festering concern in IPO. Andy Mukherjee has done a piece in Bloomberg, and then there have been reports in other digital newspapers. No major newspaper which is relying on advertisement will talk about this, because Reliance is one of the most powerful corporates in the world and is in India, controls a big portion of the total investments in the country and employs a very huge number of people and has its tentacles everywhere, and therefore no media can afford to openly criticize Reliance. But what these two other papers are talking about is that concerns that are being raised on what will happen to the future of Reliance. Over the last several years, Reliance has borrowed and raised money through private equity to invest in other diverse fields to grow their business. They have invested heavily in retail, they have invested in building a world-class telecom network, Geo, and now are saying they will invest heavily in green energy, from making solar panels from sand to green hydrogen and complex energy projects. The complex energy green projects will require a lot of investments over the next 10 years. The people are very worried about the succession in Reliance, because people have been very worried about the succession planning in Reliance for the last 3 years because of one simple reason, about reports coming about the health of its managing director. The managing director today, Mukesh Ambani, was inducted into the board in 1977 when he was barely 20 years old. But today, his three children have come into the board who are well into their 30s. So they have spent a lot more time before coming onto the board. His wife, Neeta Ambani, has resigned from the board but continues to be the chairperson of Reliance Foundation. And though not a director, will attend all board meetings as a permanent invitee. So basically, she's a de facto board member. So out of a family of 5, 4 are the direct members, 1 is a de facto direct member. So there are 5 family members sitting on top of India's largest company. It reflects poorly on corporate governance. The other main talk about is that there are 2 cousins of him, Hitesh and Nikhil Meswani, who are both Ambani's first cousins, whose father was on the board, a very close associate of Dhirubhai. They have also joined, they are on the board. So it makes 7 family members on the board. Though the company does not show these Meswani brothers as relatives of the promoter directors, but the whole world knows they are the promoter directors. Is this legal? Definitely this is legal. There is nothing illegal about it. But the question remains that what is the succession planning? Mr. Mukesh Ambani has not dropped a single word about it. He is 66 years old and has now said he will continue as chairman and managing director for the next 5 years. And looks like both Geo and its retail arms are not going to have a IPO in the next 5 years. Why are people worried about this? People are worried about this because of what happened in his father's time. His father, Dhirubhai Ambani, died without a will, and when he died without a will, the 2 brothers over a period of time decided to carve up the empire. The younger one did not trust the elder one. It became a bitter fight and there was a lot of uncertainty. Finally, non-family members had to be roped in and the problem was solved, and the empire was carved up between Mukesh and Anil. Anil, with great pomposity, called his company Reliance Anil Dhirubhai Group. And finally, he has proved to be a very poor businessman and has become bankrupt. And today, his elder brother had to pay 250 crores to save him. This history of the family is hanging over the company. If the father departs suddenly without settling these issues, will the three siblings, 2 brothers and 1 sister, continue as if nothing has happened? The original matriarch, Dhirubhai's wife, Kokia Behan, still controls more than 0.24% in a company that controls the controlling companies. She has a direct stake. What will happen to whether Anil Ambani will stake a claim to that is something that nobody wants to voice publicly, but is there in the shadows. This is why both Bloomberg and other new digital newsletters which are put out from outside India are now worried about the succession planning. While nobody may say it openly, but large institutional investors are worried. and this is reflecting on the stock prices. And Reliance is a huge conglomerate now. Even if the family owns nearly 50% of the stock, definitely the other 50% have a right to know how the company is going to be run. The sooner the company clears the air, the better it is. We always talk about Reliance in superlatives. We don't look at some of the gray areas. They took a major portion in Dunso, acquired a major portion in Dunso, claiming it would be the delivery arm for Jio WhatsApp deliveries. And when the funding winter came, it has decided to not to fund that company, allowing it to bleed to zero. The other major investor is Google. The promoters have already encashed, Dunso's promoters. The employees of Dunso's are not being paid. June, July salary is now pushed to October. Reliance has not clarified its position. Most of Dunso's deliveries are from Jio showrooms. Significant portion. Is Reliance washing his hands off by reducing investment to zero and detaching itself from that, or is it going to take it over? The rumors in the market are if they want to push Dunso to bankruptcy and then they buy it. They did this exactly to a furniture chain and they bought it together. This is, I think that was, if I'm not sure, it is Urban Ladder. So this is what is the strategy. So with strategies of this kind, with the power and the might of the family, nobody is willing to call the elephant in the room, except people sitting outside the country. But it is only fair that India's largest company's promoters tell the world clearly that what is going to be the plan and what is the future of this company. Because 1 decade later or 2 decades later, sibling rivalry should not have erupted Reliance again and destroy the value of the company, which Dhirubhai built up and Mukesh built on top of it over years. Only time will tell what will happen. There was expectation of clarity in this AGM. It was belied, and the whole thing has been pushed for 5 years. This will definitely overhang on the price of Reliance. Thank you for watching पैसा बोलता है. आपने इस पॉडकास्ट को सुना, इसके लिए मैं आपका आभारी हूँ. Kindly press the subscribe button, turn on the bell notification and write your comments. If you have done all this of the above, send this video to your friends and relatives and have them take a look. Once again, I thank you for your support for पैसा बोलता है. नमस्कार, धन्यवाद, जय हिंद. हमने बेंगलुरु की इवेंट के बाद इवेंट सऊदी अरेबिया में होल्ड करने की डिसीजन ले ली है. 22 सितंबर को हम रियाद में एक इवेंट कर रहे हैं और 29 सितंबर को हम जिद्दा में मिल रहे हैं. जो भी मुझे मिलने चाहते हैं तो और सऊदी में रहते हैं उनको रियाद में 22 सितंबर और जिद्दा में 29 सितंबर मिलेंगे. जो मुझे मिलने की इच्छुक हैं वो नीचे दिए गए ईमेल आईडी में मेल भेज सकते हैं और व्हाट्सएप नंबर से हमें संपर्क कर सकते हैं. धन्यवाद, नमस्कार, जय हिंद.